Deuteronomy 17 and 9. He didn't want y'all to hear this here before we delve into what we got to deal with. Deuteronomy 17 and 9. I thank the Lord. And Mouse, don't you worry, Mouse. Because that nigga going to get just what she deserved. Don't you worry. We'll go look at that too. Don't you worry, though. Don't you worry. Deuteronomy 17 and 9. Matter of fact, make it verse 8. If there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment between blood and blood, between plea and plea, between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then thou shalt arise and get thee unto the place which Yah thy God shall choose. And thou shalt come unto the priests the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment. So now he just said if something arise, he said you need to go to the priest. He said, and they'll show you what the judgment is. Let's see what else he say. And thou shalt do according to the sentence. So that means you ought to do what the man tell you to do, don't you? Which day of that place which y'all shall choose shall show thee, and thou shalt observe to do according to all that they inform thee, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach thee. Oh my goodness. And according to the judgment which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Listen what he say. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously and will not hearken unto the priest that stand to minister there before Yah thy God or unto the judge, even that man shall die, and thou shalt put away the evil from Israel, and all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously. So you see, that's what we had happen with this young woman. See, she hadn't been told the sentence according to the law of what she had been taught. But the things that she was told, she chose not to do them. She declined and went to do what she wanted to do, and she had to be removed. Now hold on, look at Psalms 19. This is the reason why we're reading it to you. This is the reason why we're reading it to you. This ain't reading this to you for no reason. This to make you consider. Psalm 19 about verse 9. Because see, some of y'all don't like to do what you're told. Some of you like to do what you want to do. We done read that Hebrews 13. That man say, obey them that have rule over you, for they watch for your soul. That don't make no sense to go inquire judgment from the priest and then don't do nothing the priest say. And think that you're going to sit your stinker behind in there and continue to be in there when the law say get rid of you. I'll show you why they say that. Hold on. It just coming to mind. 1 Timothy chapter 5 after this. It says, the fear of Yah is clean, enduring forever. The judgments of Yah are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than fine gold, yea, than much fine gold, sweeter also than honey in the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them is great reward. Now, we had touched on this about a week or so ago, about 2 weeks ago, about how some of you niggas don't like to listen. That y'all don't like to follow instructions. Now, everybody been in kindergarten before, and what's the first thing they told you in kindergarten you needed to master? Follow directions. It ain't that hard to follow directions. 1 Timothy chapter 5. It ain't that hard to follow directions. It really not. It's only hard to follow directions when you got a rebellious heart. When you want to do presumptuously. When you feel like I know better. I know what, as we already just read, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 20. I know what I'm doing. That's what this nigga told her. I know what I'm doing. Let's see what it say. Them that sin rebuke before all others also may fear. When we sat in there that day and rebuked this young woman for her stupidity, that was for the rest of y'all to maybe get some sense. I better not go do nothing stupid before that happened to me. Same way we had to get on somebody about messing with their phone. That's what everybody else might consider. I better not do that. I charge thee before God and the Lord Yahshua the Messiah and the elect angels, hold on, that thou observe these things without preferring one before another and doing nothing by partiality. Ain't that what we just read in Deuteronomy about not doing nothing by partiality? Hold on, 2 Chronicles chapter 19. Just so you can see there ain't no partiality. Y'all know what it means to be to have some partiality. You know what that means? What? We know the law say with y'all there's no respect to person. Ain't no respect to person. 2 Chronicles 19 about verse 9. Say it, I should say. Well, matter of fact, make it 6. This ain't nothing you ain't never heard before. But we got to reiterate the fight. Because the man got rid of this woman. And the woman had the nerve to say, I know what I'm doing. And said to the judges, take heed what you do, for you judge not for man, but for Yah who is with you in the judgment. So you got to understand something. If I tell y'all, son, who you think with me in the judgment? Because we just read in the law, he say do according to the sentence of the law. That's why YESHUA said don't judge according to appearance, but judge righteous judgment. We got to make judgment based on what the word say. That's why when we sit back and we hear these dudes say a woman can teach and a woman can do this and a woman can do that, well, okay, let's see what the sentence of the law say. When we sit back and say, you know what, we can do this or we can't do this, well, let's see what the sentence of the law say. That's how we got to operate. But look what he tells him. Wherefore now let the fear of Yah be upon you, take heed and do it. There's no iniquity with Yah our God, nor respect the person, nor taking a gift. So you know what that means when you judge? Matthew chapter 7. We get back to 1 Timothy. Matthew chapter 7, verse 11. He said there's no iniquity with Yah. Said there's no respect of persons, and you can't buy your way with it. I'm sorry, not verse 11. Matthew chapter 7, verse 1. Everybody's favorite verse. What do niggas like to say in the street, what? Park had a song about it back in the day. You might have been about 12. No, you wasn't even 12. You were about 5. He said only God can judge me. That's what nigga love to say. Let's see what he say. Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged, and what measure ye meet, it shall be measured to you again. And why behold thou the mote that is in thy brother's eye, but consider not the beam that is in thy own eye? Or wilt thou say to thy brother, let me pull the mote out of thy eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out of the beam out of thy own eye, then thou shalt see clearly to cast the mote out of thy brother's eye. So you know what he told you? He say, hey man, you better be careful. Look at Romans chapter 2. Better be careful when you tell somebody, son, because son could come back around and bite you in the butt. That's why he say ain't no iniquity with it. That's why bishops got to be blameless. That's why God preachers got to be clean. Because when they come to judgment, you can't be able to say, well, you doing this and you doing that. You just going to know when I told you not to do this or told you to go do that and you went against it, that man said we ought to cut you off. I would the law say we ought to cut you off. Romans chapter 2, verse 17. Behold, thou art called a Jew, and retest in the law, and make thy boast of God. And know his will, and approve the things that are most excellent, being instructed out of the law. And art confident that thyself art a guide of the blind, and a light of them which are in darkness. An instructor of the foolish, a teacher of babes, which has the form of knowledge and the truth in the law. Thou therefore which teach another, teach not thyself. Thou that preach a man should not steal, dost thou steal? Thou that say a man should not commit adultery, dost thou commit adultery? Thou that abhor idols, dost thou commit sacrilege? Thou that make thy boast of the law through breaking the law, dishonor thou God. For the name of God is blasphemed among the Gentiles through you, as it is written. Y'all think y'all don't be blaspheming God's word when y'all be told to do something you don't do it? Just like we done said to y'all before, if you feel like I don't know what I'm talking about, or you feel like you don't want to do what I say, why would you come? Why would you even show up? Why would you participate? This is how little muffin say. This stupid nigga gonna tell me, you owe me money. And you gonna tell me you can't bring me my money because it's the Sabbath. And you know what little muffin say? Why she even keeping the Sabbath? See, because I'm going to tell y'all something. A lot of times people get cut off with the Lord, they think they still with him. They think they still got a chance. But don't you know when that man done with you, it's a wrap. Because when he say put the evil away from him, what happened? They got killed, right? They got stoned. So you think he going to put you out and you going to latch on somewhere else? Because that's what she said. I'm going to latch on somewhere else. Latch on where? Luke chapter 9. I'm going to show you something now. That's Luke chapter 9 that I want. No, it is not. Come over here to Matthew. We're going to get into the crux of the matter, but it's just something he wants y'all to hear. It's just something he wants you there. Let me find it here, what I want here. Let me find where it is that I want. I mean, sit back and look at it. How many of y'all think, I'm talking to the men now, how many of y'all think if the Lord were to cut you off or cut somebody off, it's Matthew chapter 9, I said Luke 9, but it's Matthew chapter 9, verse 35. How many of y'all think after the Lord cut y'all off, you think you're going to fall in something? If you feel like, okay, I got a teacher son to teach the word. I don't like how he teach it. I don't like what he say. I don't like what he do. I'm going to leave. You think the Lord going to give you another teacher who going to really say the exact same things that the person you didn't want to hear had to say? Matthew chapter 9 verse 35. And Yeshua went about all the cities and the villages, teaching in their synagogues, preaching the gospel of the kingdom, healing every sickness and every disease among the people. But when he saw the multitudes, he was moved with compassion on them, because they fainted and were scattered abroad as sheep having no shepherd. Then he saith unto his disciples, the harvest truly is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Pray ye therefore the Lord of the harvest, that he will send forth laborers into his harvest. This man say the laborers are few. That means you're going to have to do some looking, ain't it? You think you just going to find out? Now let's sit back and think about it. It's 1,000,001 niggas out here preaching the word now. I ain't even talking about Sunday preachers. You can get on YouTube and you can scroll on Facebook and get on nigga pages. And it's a whole bunch of niggas call themselves teaching the word, but this man say his laborers are few. We're just saying this here for y'all to consider, because this woman been kicked out. She's on her way to hell. Do y'all not understand that? I want y'all to look at something. Revelation 22. We get back to 1 Timothy 5. Revelation 22. Verse 15. This woman on her way to hell. See, I'm going to tell y'all something how the Lord works. I'm going to tell y'all something how the Lord works. This nigga got herself into something, which ended up getting her incarcerated, which ended up getting her children being brought here, which ended up making her come here, and the Lord brought her here for her to go to hell. That's rough right there. Wouldn't you say to it? That's super rough right there. And the word Paul war, it wasn't nothing that I did. He let her send herself to hell. Because even after she disobeyed the commandment, knew weeks in advance when trumpet war, no, you're not supposed to work on the Sabbath, no, you're not supposed to do that, he still left the door open and said, don't cut off, let her come on, tell her to come to service again. Tell her to come again. And let her damn herself. That's why y'all better be careful with some of the stuff you be doing, stuff you be saying, stuff go through your mind. This man mess around and let you damn yourself. Revelation 22 and 15. For without are dogs and sorcerers. And what is a sorcerer again, gentlemen? Who remember what makes you a sorcerer? Rebellion. And that's what we looking at in that Deuteronomy 17, wasn't it? When you get told to do something and you rebel against it. I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't care what he say. He don't know what he talking about. I don't care if the sentence comes from the law and the judgment comes from the law. It comes from the word. It comes from God. I'm going to do what I want to do, because can't nobody tell me how to run my life and live my life. He don't know more than me. This is what I want. And you know what the Lord said? You want to go to hell, and I'm going to let you go. For without are dogs and sorcerers and whoremongers and murderers and idolaters and whosoever love and make a lie. That's why we be on y'all about being hypocrites. That's why we be on you about pretending to be something that you not. You know you ain't righteous. Stop fronting like you know, like you righteous, and just get it together. I'm gonna tell you that's something. I told you that about a woman. Cause I dealt with a woman like that. That wanted to be appear to be as you serve God, but niggas sit back looking at your lifestyle and see that you don't. That's what we talking about as forth as when Day of Atonement comes. Some of y'all, man, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on in your mind other than, I'm doing it for the Lord. I'm doing it for the Lord. Sometimes, man, y'all be doing stuff, you just doing it for yourself, you ain't doing it for him. Hold on. Let's finish this 1 Timothy 5. Matter of fact, before we can get to 1 Timothy 5, Zechariah chapter 7. This right here is endemic. A lot of y'all attitudes and a lot of stuff that y'all do. Zechariah chapter 7. What is it, chapter 8 that I want? I believe it's chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 1. It's endemic by what you do. Because a lot of y'all do stuff, y'all just want somebody to see it. You want somebody to tell you, look at they walking in the word, they doing so good. Nigga, you ain't doing good. God know your heart. He know it's nasty. That's why every time he try your reins, you fall flat on your face. That's why, again, we thank the Lord. We appreciate Malcolm, boy. You were tried today. He tried your heart. And you know what was found in your heart? I got to stand on the word. I'm a Jew. I can't conduct myself like that. As bad as I want to go up here and knock all 32 teeth out this nigga mouth and call her everything under the sun. I can't do that. That take a lot of strength. That's why he told you the joy of Yah is your strength, and trust in Yah forever, that's your strength. That's what you supposed to lean on is the word. I joy in the word, I joy in God. That's why that can restrict my behavior. Like I say, that's why, I can't, I know why Dwight gave you big up 2 times. Might give you about 3, 4 more for the night over with, because I can't blame him. I can't blame him. Anybody who was sitting here already know what's going through your mind. I couldn't even imagine. And you did good. And we thank the Lord. That's why a lot of times stuff y'all be coming up, y'all don't even know. I done told y'all, how many times I said this man put y'all in position to try your heart, see how much you really love him. See how much you really gonna lean on the word. You fall slap dab on your face. Because it ain't really about the word, which is about how you want to appear to be. It ain't, you shouldn't be seeking for that. Just like we had to tell the young woman, how you look like before God. You worry about how the courts look at you. You worry about how your mama look at you. Some of y'all worry about how other members look at you. Some of y'all worry about how your co-workers look at you. Some of y'all worry about how your family look at you. But how the Lord look at you. As long as he look at me good, I don't care how nobody else view me. What you say? That's all I care about. That woman had a whole bunch of stuff to say about me. I don't even care. I ain't even investigated. I don't even care what you say about me. But God forbid, it'll be one thing you'll never say. That nigga going to hell. You won't open your mouth and say that. Because we're going to stand on the man's word. Whether it take death, whether it be death, whether it be imprisonment, whether I got to live under underpass, whether I got to lose everything and everybody I got. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to obey the man's word. See, some of y'all don't have that. You just obey it when it's convenient. When it fit what you want, when it fit what you need, that's when you want to roll. Zechariah 7:1 though. And it came to pass in the 4th year of King Darius that the word of Yah came unto Zechariah in the 4th day of the 9th month, even in Chilsu. And when they had sent unto the house of God, Shurzar and Remelech and their men to pray before Yah, and to speak unto the priests which were in the house of Yah of hosts, and to the prophets, saying, should I weep in the 5th month, separating myself, as I have done these so many years? Then came the word of Yah of hosts unto me, saying, speak unto all the people of the land, and to the priests, saying, when ye fasted and mourned in the 5th and 7th month, even those 70 years, did you at all fast unto me, even to me? And when you did eat and when you did drink, did you not eat for yourselves and drink for yourselves? Should you not hear the words of Yah, which Yah have cried by the former prophets, when Jerusalem was inhabited and in prosperity, and the cities thereof round about her, when men inhabited the south and the plain? Now you know what he told them, but he wouldn't have heard it. They wouldn't have been destroyed and been brought into Babylon if they would have heard the word. But you heard what he said? This whole time you were fasting, were you doing it to me? So you got to sit back and ask yourself, the whole time you've been walking in their word, was you doing it for the Lord? Or was you just doing it to be seen? Matthew chapter 6. We'll get back to 1 Timothy 5 with the Lord a bit before we got to dig into what we got to do. If the Lord will. But he got to talk with y'all for a little minute. We ain't been going too long. He just got to talk with y'all for a little minute. He just need to let you know something. Matthew chapter 6. We just read about that fasting part. I guess we read the whole thing. We read the fasting part. Let's look at Matthew chapter 6 by verse 1. This go right back into what you were talking about earlier now. Take heed that you do not your alms before men to be seen of them. Otherwise you have no reward of your Father which is in heaven. Therefore when thou do thy alms, do not sound the trumpet before thee, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and the streets, that they may have glory of men. Truly I say unto you, they have their reward. But when thou do alms, let not thy left hand know what thy right hand do, that thy alms may be in secret, and thy Father which see in secret shall reward thee openly. And when thou pray, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites, as for they love to pray standing in the synagogues and in the corner of the streets, that they may be seen of men. Truly I say unto you, they have their reward. Remember when Little Muffin took this literally? You remember when you took that literally? She took this literally right here. I think somebody else did too. But thou, when thou pray, enter into thy closet, and when thou hast shut thy door, pray to thy Father which is in secret, and thy Father will see thee in secret, reward thee openly. Now see that there? That means you shouldn't be doing stuff just to be seen. So somebody can see you and see what you're doing. Oh, see, I feed the poor. See, I feed the poor. I do all this here. That same thing if you go back and you do something for somebody. You ain't got to tell that person what you did for them. When you tell that person what you did for them, you didn't do it from your heart. You did it the whole sun over, or you did it because you want somebody to look at you and think of you in a particular manner or way. That's just not something that people do. I felt like that before the word. How many of y'all hate a nigga got to tell you what they did for you? Oh, I thought you were looking at her like you were trying to insinuate something. No, I thought you were trying to be funny. But you know what I'm talking about? My bad. Wrong time for comedic interlude. How many of y'all hate that though? I know I do. If I do something for somebody, I ain't gonna tell you about it. If I'm gonna tell you about it, I might as well don't do it. I might as well don't do it. See, this is the type of mind we supposed to have. And then you have to sit back and look at it just because, see, I'm going to tell you, that's because y'all know what family members, you know how family members feel. Family members feel you didn't supposed to do stuff for them because we people. You know what I'm talking about? We got to sit back and look at, just because we members and we a group of congregation, don't sit back and look at somebody as if they owe you, that they just have to do that for you. You know what I'm talking about? People don't have to do anything. And when you approach somebody with an attitude or mentality that you have to do that for me, that makes people don't want to do nothing for you. Because you know what that makes you feel like? Like you're being used. You know what I'm talking about? Don't nobody want to feel like they're being used. Just sit back and look at it. If you don't like, that's why he say do unto men. It's Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. We got to get into something, because it's something specific I want to deal with. But Matthew chapter 7, verse 13. But we got to deal with this here. Because I'm just sitting there telling you, we were just see, so I think y'all were gone. Because we just sat there and told them that the Lord will put some of y'all out and bring some people in to take your place. And Lord, behold, he put a nigga out and he done brought some people in. So you know what I tell y'all? You niggas better tighten up. You better shape up or the Lord going to ship you out. Now you seen him ship one out and he didn't even have to put her out. He just opened the door. That nigga walked out it. How dumb you got to be for the Lord to open up the door and say this is the pathway to hell and you follow and go in and walk down that hallway? You'd be like, hold up, Lord, I don't want to go through that door. And that nigga went right through the door. Get what you want. Matthew chapter 7, verse 12. Therefore all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do you even so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Love your neighbors, you love yourself. Even the law say, Leviticus chapter 19. Because you know the man said, it said, now just because you like to sit, that don't mean that if you see somebody doing wrong, you don't say nothing. But just know you say something, just know that same judgment going to be brought back to you. So don't be sitting there sticking your lip out when somebody tell you, hold up now, you right, I'm wrong. But what about all that stuff you over there doing? Just be ready to take that when it comes. Right or wrong? Got to be able to take that when it comes now. Leviticus 19 and 18. Or 17, pardon me. Thank the Lord. We'll come back to verse 16. That tie in right to what we got to deal with later. Listen what he say though. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thy heart. Thou shalt anywise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him. Thou shalt not avenge, nor bear any grudge against the children of thy people, but thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. I am Yah. That man said you shouldn't hate your brother, you should rebuke him, but then he said you shouldn't avenge or bear a grudge. Dwight, you know what the Lord told you, something like that, about not holding no grudge? That's a good one, but that's not necessarily what we were looking for. That's going to tie into what we about to discuss. Come on over here, I think it's Luke chapter 17. But that ain't no bad one, because I ain't holding no grudge too now. That ain't Luke 7. I said Luke 17, didn't I? I was looking at Matthew 17. No, go to sleep, Stankers. It'll be alright. Luke chapter 17, verse 1. He said, then he said unto his disciples, it is impossible that offenses will come, but woe unto him through whom they come. So guess what? It's going to come time people going to offend you, whether it be amongst us or other people. It's going to happen. It were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and he cast into the sea, that he should offend one of these little ones. But listen what he tell you. Take heed to yourselves. If thy brother trespass against thee, rebuke him, and if he repent, forgive him. And if he trespass against thee 7 times in a day, and 7 times in a day turn again to thee, saying, I repent, thou shalt forgive him. Don't that sound like the law to you, pal? Sound like what we just read. Don't hold no grudge against your neighbor. Love him as yourself. He said, you rebuke and repent, but I'm going to show y'all something else. I'm going to show y'all how to deal with each other. Matthew chapter 18. Matthew chapter 18, about verse 15. I'm trying to remember what the other thing is. I think it's in the book of Mark. I'm going to come back around up to it. Y'all bear with me. We just got to deal with something real fast. We're going to get to the meat and the crux of the matter, but we got to deal with some things real fast. Matthew chapter 18, about verse 15. Moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. If one of y'all done did something to each other, don't go tell nobody else about it. Go take that to them. Go take that to them. Don't nobody else need to hear about it. If somebody did something you didn't like, go take that to them. He said, moreover, if thy brother shall trespass against thee, go and tell him his fault between thee and him alone. And if he shall hear thee, thou hast gained thy brother. But if he will not hear thee, then take with thee one or two more, that in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses every word may be established. So now if y'all had an issue and they didn't want to hear you, then he say go get 2 or 3 witnesses. But when he say 2 or 3 witnesses, that means somebody had to be able to bear witness to the event. If ain't nobody bear witness to the event, they can't speak on it. He said, if he shall neglect to hear them, then tell it unto the assembly. But if he neglect to hear the assembly, then let him be unto thee as a heathen man in a publican. So then he said, you need to take it to the congregation. And if he don't want to hear the fault in front of the congregation, then he say, cut him off. That didn't mean put him out of the assembly. That means just cut him off. Don't mess with him no more. Don't mean that you don't forgive him. You just don't mess with him no more. More specifically in whatever matter it was. But sometimes it just ain't good to be around everybody. Because sometimes you just can't get along with certain people. Sometimes people just butt heads. Come on over here to Mark. See what it is in Mark when I want. But see, you got to sit back and look at it. No, I feel dope. You know what I'm saying? You got to sit back and look at it. I'm trying to remember what that verse said, what he told them to say. Well, Perry, you remember what that verse said? You can help me out? When he told them, if you can't, there we go, pray, thank the Lord. Mark chapter 11, verse 24. Make it 23. Matter of fact, make it 22. Mark chapter 11, verse 22. I gotta sit back and look at it. I'm gonna tell you, if you do something to me I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you. I ain't got no problem telling you. If I see you doing stuff I don't like, I'm gonna tell you. Just prepare, and y'all know that too. Everybody, one of y'all know I'll do it too, with no hesitation, and don't care who around. YESHUA answered and said unto them, saying unto them, have faith in God. For truly I say unto you that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, thou shalt not doubt in his heart, but shall believe that those things which he said shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he say. See, you know the reason why the Lord don't do a lot of stuff for some of y'all? Y'all don't believe nothing he say. Hold what you got. I want y'all to look at Romans chapter 4. Romans chapter 4. Verse 20. Make it 19. Matter of fact, make it 18. This is the type of mind you got to have. This is why a lot of stuff don't go your way. He said, who against hope? Matter of fact, make it 16. Therefore it is of faith that it might be by grace, to the end the promise might be sure to all the seed, and not to that only which is of the law, but that which is of faith of Abraham, who's the father of us all. As it is written, I have made thee a father of many nations, before him whom he believed, even God, who quickened the dead, and called those things which be not as though they were. See, that's one problem with a lot of y'all. See, the Most High calls stuff that hasn't happened as if it already happened. You know what I'm talking about? Why do you think the son was walking around telling these people stuff that hadn't happened yet as if it had already happened? He said, so you think I blaspheme because I'm the son of God? This man sat there and told all these people, he said, man, I got to die. Third day I'll raise again. It ain't happened yet, but he talking to him like that's surely going to go down. So y'all wonder why the Lord won't speak to you, or he don't show you nothing, or why you ain't got the spirit yet, because you don't believe nothing the man say. That's not specific for everybody. But for some of y'all don't believe nothing the man say. It's showing your thought process. It's showing how you deal with people. It shows the decisions that you make. Show the stuff that you do. Your attitudes you have. You don't believe nothing he say. Ain't nowhere in the world the word that shouldn't even took hold to you. It ain't took hold to you because you really don't believe it. That's why we mentioned that there. That's how we know. This woman couldn't have believed what this man say when you feel like it's a sin to bring some money you owe, but it's not a sin for you to work on the Sabbath. You were more concerned about doing that. And through a tantrum when I say ain't nobody finna come pick you up and then take you back home so you can go work. Are you smoking crack? That's a nigga for you. You know, that's a nigga mind. You be like, how can she be a nigga? She white. She got a nigga mind. That's how niggas think, ain't it? That's a nigga mind. He said, who against hope believed in hope, that he might become the father of many nations according to that which was spoken, so shall thy seed be. And being not weak in faith, he considered not his own body now dead when he was about 100 years old, neither yet the deadness of Sarah's womb. He staggered not at the promise of God through unbelief, but was strong in faith, giving glory to God. And being fully persuaded that what he had promised, he was able also to perform, and therefore it was imputed to him for righteousness. That's why that's why you're not righteous before God. You really don't believe the man can do what he say he can do. That's why the Lord sitting there telling you that if you don't doubt in your heart but believe those things which he say shall come to pass, he'll give you whatever he say. Because I go right back to Abraham. Abraham ain't doubt nothing, did he? He said, I know he'll do that. That ain't even no issue. That ain't no issue. I know he capable. You believe that? I know I believe it. I know he capable. I know this man can do exactly what he say he gonna do. Without question. I'm talking about I ain't got to see nothing. See, I'm talking about, that's what problem with some of y'all live. Man, nigga tell y'all son, y'all got to ask all these questions. Why? You just can't sit back, boy. If he put it in his mouth to tell me, that's of the Lord. I know it's going to happen. I know it's going to happen. See, y'all don't believe that. Man tell you if you do this right here, and you do this right here, I'll bless you with this right here. Y'all don't believe that. You wonder why you can't elevate out the position that you in or the things that you desire, why you can't get it? You don't believe nothing he say. That man say the fearful and unbelieving, they the first ones going in. Why would somebody want to deal with somebody that don't believe what they say? I don't know, that's y'all though. Mark chapter 11, verse 24. I can't see how you sit back and see the man, the works he done work, and you don't believe the man. And know it's impossible for him to lie. How could you not believe it? Verse 24, therefore I say unto you, what things soever you desire when you pray, believe that you receive them and you shall have them. But also remember what John told you in 1 John chapter 4 or verse 3. It got to be according to the man's will. See, sometimes y'all be asking for stuff and the man ain't going to give it to you because it's not according to his will. A lot of stuff, man, sometimes y'all be praying for stuff, you pray yourself right up out of it. Look here, we just sat and watched somebody. They prayed for a husband so bad, they ended up getting one, and they got a sinner. And now it went downhill from there. See, sometimes you can pray for stuff the Lord really be trying to keep you from it because it ain't no good for you. You steady keep praying for it, steady keep praying for it. I said, I go ahead and give it to the nigga. They can see their latter ends. They can see what their end gonna be. He said, when you stand praying, forgive. For if you have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you your trespasses. But if you do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. See, some of y'all, that's why he told you, don't hold no grudge, that man ain't going to forgive you. The law just sat back and told you, don't do that. So guess what? If you hold a grudge and you don't forgive, then what have you done? What you done? You done committed sin. You done transgressed. That's why y'all don't even be sitting back looking at it. Y'all just thinking, oh man, I ain't having sex and I don't cuss and I don't drink no more. I don't keep the Sabbath. And I don't eat no swine. I'm good. Well, it's a whole lot of other stuff you could be doing too. That's just a microcosm or something. Just not listening to what the man told you. Just not listening and doing what you told you committing sin. Fighting against what you being told to do or committing sin. If somebody done something to you and you don't go to them, you done committed sin. If you upset with somebody and you ain't forgave them, you done committed sin. I'm real tight, ain't it? 1 Timothy chapter 5. I don't look at stuff like that. That's why he sat there and asked them people, the whole time you fasted, was you fasting under me? Were you fasting to be able to do the thing that pleased me, or you just were fasting so everybody else could know you were doing it? So you sit back and look at it. Are you called afflicting your flesh? You talking about I'm abstaining from these certain things? Are you just doing it so other people can see? Or are you doing it for God? Who you doing it for? That's the question. Who you doing it for? Who you really trying to impress? Verse 22 in 1 Timothy chapter 5. Lay hands certainly on no man, neither be partaker of other men's sins. Keep thyself pure. Now, why would this man just sit back and tell you don't be a partaker of other people's sins? Y'all have any idea where he could get that from? See, that's what some of y'all do. Y'all be partakers of other people's sins. Y'all will go around there and go co-sign and go do some junk with somebody else. Let's look at Deuteronomy 13. That same thing, Aaron was a partaker of other people's sins. They asked him, make us a god, make us a golden calf. He went right along there and made it. You know he's supposed to keep himself pure and left them people alone. Deuteronomy 13 in about verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother, or thy son, or thy daughter, or the wife of thy bosom, or thy friend, which is of thy own soul, entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods, which thou hast not known, thou nor thy fathers, namely the gods of the people which are round about you, and nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from one end of the earth, even unto the other end of the earth, thou shalt not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him, neither shall thy eye pity him, neither shalt thou spare him, neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him. Thy hand shall be first upon him to put him to death, and afterwards the hands of all the people. And thou shalt stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust thee away from Yah thy God, which hath brought thee out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you. So that's it there and tell you, don't be a partaker of other men's sin, better keep yourself pure. He told you in Isaiah 52, he said, depart from them, and touch not the unclean vessels. See, some of y'all like to go back and touch sinners and touch stuff you ain't got no business with because you're a pure live idiot. You know what I'm talking about? Now, a young woman who left her, that's why she said she didn't want to be here no more. She said, you know what, you talk about going to hell too much. I want to hear the mercies of God. But if we warning you not to do these things, that this could cost you your life, ain't that God showing mercy to you? Because I could just let you die. I could just say, you know what, them niggas robbing right around the corner. I know they robbing. I know as soon as this nigga be in the corner, they getting shot. I ain't gonna say nothing. Wouldn't that be messed up? Say you get shot in the shoulder, you come back, man, them niggas shot me when I came around the corner. And I be like, yo, bro, I knew they was over there. Nigga, I was like, dash before I went around there. You didn't say nothing? I'm like, shoot, I thought you figured out, man. Maybe you're dumb or something. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Wouldn't you rather somebody go ahead and tell you? Because we just sit there mentioning this to see where he get this from. Because this man telling you don't be partakers in other people's sins. The law sitting here telling you what's going to happen to you when you are partaking in other people's sin. You can lose your life. So you know what we're telling you? Don't do that. You see somebody over there got that junk going on, man, leave them niggas over there to themselves. Leave them niggas over there to themselves. But see, some of y'all don't got that. Some of y'all still bringing that worldly mindset in your mind frame to the word. Because you still a nigga. You ain't became a Jew yet. You still think like a nigga. You might cover up living like a nigga, but you still think like one. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 24. We're in 23. You gotta be careful with this type of stuff, man. A lot of y'all be fooled up with a lot of crazy stuff, man. Your mind messed up. Gotta learn to start thinking different. Then you start thinking different, you start doing different. You ain't gonna never do different when your mind's still the same, when your worldview's still the same, when your outlook's still the same, when your mentality's still the same. You just know a little book. How many of y'all see these people go to these Sunday church, read this book all day? They may not know no specific, but they know they can say, I know some Bible. They sit there and talk to you about some Bible, and right after that be like, boy, and we finna go to these whole house. Or these women talking about, girl, I love the Lord, you know, pastor preached a good one. You know what the Lord said and such. Next thing you know, she around here with her legs spread wide open. Whole house smelling like a fish market. I seen a nigga talking about that the other day. That's probably the most offensive thing a man could ever come across a woman. I know if you're a woman, you better make sure you handle that one there. A vagina that has an odor? Oh my goodness. That's repugnant right there. What you say? Hey, I ain't saying you got to deal with it. I'm just saying. I done been like this. I done had niggas tell me, boy, you like, yeah, boy, and it was stank. I'm saying, what you did, I hit it anyway. Says a lot about your character. Says a lot about your character. That's one thing about it, man. You know, everybody got to make sure they keep their behind clean, but a woman even more so. Nobody don't want no funky woman. You know what I'm talking about? Definitely no more. Here's one thing, right? I don't think nobody like nobody with no stank breath. But boy, if a woman got some stank breath, that'd just ruin. I knew a chick, man. I was in high school. She was real, real pretty. Boy, I'm talking about that woman smelled like a toilet bowl. I ain't gonna call her name. I remember her name. She was real pretty, man. That nigga breath was stank. Golly, it didn't make no sense. I remember the nigga was saying that about Beyonce. They say her breath was really stank. I said it should be stank. No, I'm talking about, I used to sit back and watch niggas in prison argue about this because they done read it in the article. Y'all don't know that lady. Ain't none of y'all been in that lady's face to be able to know if her breath stank. But you know, that would be shocking. You know what I'm saying? Nigga would be tripping. Woman that pretty, you walk up on her and be like, your mouth smell like that. Like, how would you feel? How would you feel you walk up on Beyonce? You be like, well, you wasn't married. You know, you still in the world. And she like this here. What's up with you? I'm interested. You be like, who, me? You talking to me? Because, bro, you think about it, that woman about $300-400 million. All I'm trying to do is get me about one. Maybe a Range Rover. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga walk up, she like, so how you doing? And you like, what in the world? You know what? I think I'm finna go home now.
I'll put up me a pack of gum, put one more out, I'll go home.
Well, you already know you offer that woman a piece of gum, it's over with. You know you can't tell her mouth, you wouldn't be able to tell her mouth stink. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all just gotta take that stuff, man. Make sure your mouth don't smell like no doo-doo, man.
That's how you do it. You're doing the slide.
And now, I ain't gonna lie to you now. Now, there's a chick I went to high school with. Her name was LaShonda Bell. That nigga mouth was stank as the day is long. I'm talking about, and my homegirl Summer used to always bring a pack of gum. It wasn't for her, she just always had it. And Summer used to always like this here, just slide it onto it. Go ahead and get this here. And then, you know, you ever know the people got stank breath? They love to get all up in your face and talk to you. I'm talking about this here close. You mean to tell me you had to get this close to my nostril to tell me this here? All my nose hairs are singed right now. I literally, what's that stuff they think they are? I might need oxygen. I might need a mask. I might need one of the masks, man. We're going to talk about this here in a little bit because you know everybody's scared now because they say somebody over here got Ebola. Niggas scared now. Niggas want to post pictures of what happened to people when they get it. Quite disgusting. There wasn't no need for you to show me that. You know what I'm talking about? Now niggas getting all amped up because they say Obama signed an executive order. So they can just lock you up if they think you see. Worst part was it's been law for 11 years. But nevertheless, 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 22. Y'all just make sure you keep that, man. You know your breath stank, man. Keep a mint with you, man. I wouldn't care peppermint, whatever kind of mint, man. Whole packs of gum. If you got to travel around with mouthwash and a toothbrush, man, or a tongue scraper, just do what you got to do. Drink no longer water, but use a little wine for our stomach, said in our own infirmities. Some men's sins are open beforehand, going before the judgment, and some men they follow after. Likewise also the good works of some of them are manifest beforehand, and they that are otherwise cannot be hid. You know what that's telling you? Some men's sins are open beforehand. That's like going back with Korah. His sin was open beforehand. Some other people went to hell later. That's what y'all just sat back with the woman who just got put out of her. Her sins were open beforehand. Y'all could see it. Some of y'all gonna follow after her though. Some of y'all gonna follow after. And just like he said, likewise good works are manifest. That's why the Lord said that you like a city that's set on a hill. Can't be hid. You know what that's also taking us back to? It's gonna tie back into what we gotta deal with. Deuteronomy 18. Or 19, pardon me. Because he say some men's sins are open beforehand and others follow after. So we'll sit back and we'll see how that tie in. Thank the Lord. Good transition. It's a good transition. Because we talked about this a little bit last week. And we'll go into it more in depth. Deuteronomy 19 and 1. What we got? Deuteronomy 19 and 1. Deuteronomy 19 and 1. When Yah thy God cut off the nations whose land Yah thy God give thee, and thou succeed them and dwell in their cities and in their houses, thou shalt separate 3 cities for thee in the midst of thy land, which Yah thy God give thee to possess it. Thou shalt prepare thee a way, and divide the coast of the land, which Yah thy God give thee to inherit, into 3 parts, that every slayer may flee thither. This is the case of the slayer which shall flee thither, that he may live, whoso kill his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. As when a man go into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetch a stroke with the axe to cut down the tree, and the head slip from the helve, and light upon his neighbor, that he die, he shall flee unto one of these cities and live. Let the avenger of blood pursue the slayer while his heart is hot, and overtake him, because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, insomuch as he hated him not in time past. Now we sit back and see that. I remember sitting back about 4 or 5 years ago, talking to this about a young woman. Like, you see how the Lord even set this thing up about if you accidentally kill somebody, you can have somewhere to go, to where you not ought to die. But how does this go to the Lord? Anybody know? What you say, boy? Okay, let me read it again. That's not good. He said, thou shalt prepare the way. But basically he said that we got 3 cities in every coast. And he told us as he enlarged the coast, that if somebody killed somebody who they didn't hate before in times past, that they could be able to flee into this city to get refuge. To get refuge. Listen to what he say in verse 6. Or verse 4. He said, this is the case of the slayer who shall flee thither, that he may live, whoso kill his neighbor ignorantly, whom he hated not in time past. As when a man go into the wood with his neighbor to hew wood, and his hand fetch a stroke with the axe to cut down a tree, and the head slip from the helve, and light upon his neighbor that he die, he shall flee into one of those cities and live. Lest the avenger of blood pursue while his heart is hot, and overtake him, and because the way is long, and slay him, whereas he was not worthy of death, insomuch as he hated him not in time past. Now what you think that's talking about? Gentlemen, brethren, what y'all think that's talking about? Let's look at Luke chapter 23. Then we'll deal with, he said the axe come off and cut the tree down. He said by accident. He said you didn't know what you were doing. Luke chapter 23, verse 32. And there were also 2 other malefactors led with him to be put to death. And when they were come to the place which is called Calvary, there they crucified him, and the malefactors, one on the right hand and the other on the left. Then said YESHUA, Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do. And they parted his raiment and cast lots. Now didn't it just say that this place of refuge was made for people who killed someone ignorantly? Then he said they took the tree down, and an axe, and they were cutting down a tree, and it came down and it killed somebody accidentally. What that go back to right about cutting down the tree? Huh? What that go back to about cutting down the tree? What prophet told us about somebody being cut down by a tree? Didn't Daniel tell us something about being cut down by a tree? Didn't he say Nebuchadnezzar will be cut down? But he said leave the stump. And what you gonna need to cut a tree down with? But they ain't had no chainsaw. No, he just sat back and said it because he said, Father, forgive. They didn't know what they were doing. They were killing somebody ignorantly. Because this is something. Exodus chapter 23. Let's look at something. Because this is what's going on here. This is why it's important. Because we talked about this a little bit last week. Exodus chapter 23. Exodus 23 and verse 7. He told you to keep thee from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked. That's why he was talking about that city refuge. Because he said, I'm not going to justify the wicked. He said, I'm not going to do it. And he said, when you're keeping yourself from a false matter, because see, people mess around and shed innocent blood. See, they mess around and shed innocent blood. We read it last week. Didn't Jeremiah tell these people? He said, man, he said, if you do something to me, you surely got innocent blood on your hands. That's why he sit back and look at it. If you killed this man ignorantly, you still was going to have to die, because he said an avenger would come to get you, an avenger of blood. We have to sit back and look at it that we already know if we found sinners white, what would be considered of us? What would be guilty of some blood? Well, hold on. Look at Genesis chapter 4. I just want you to see something with Cain and Abel. Genesis 4 and 1. I think Adam fell off. Oh, he got a rope. And Adam knew his wife Eve, and she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I've gotten me a man from Yah. And she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto Yah, and Abel he also brought the firstlings of his flock and the fat thereof, and Yah had respect unto Abel and to his offering. But Cain unto his offering he had not respect, and Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. And Yah said unto Cain, why art thou wroth, and why is thy countenance fallen? If thou do well, shalt thou not be accepted. And if thou do not well, sin lie at the door, and unto thee shall be his desire, and thou shalt rule over him. That was some of y'all. Don't y'all know if you do well, God will take you? He said, but if not, sin lie right at the front door, and your desire going to be to that sin, and it's going to wait for you. That just go back to he that commits sin is the servant of sin. Know ye not that who you lend your member service to obey? They have dominion over you, whether it be righteousness unto life or sin unto death. See, a lot of y'all don't realize that. You reason why, well, God, why God don't hear me, and why he don't do this for me? Because you don't do well. But look what he just said, though. And Cain talked with Abel his brother, and it came to pass when they were in the field that Cain rose up against Abel his brother and slew him. And hold on, what did we just read? And he said they came to the place where it's called Calvary. Don't you know that was a field? They rose up and slew him. So that means this man just took out some innocent blood. Let's see what happened. And Yah said unto Cain, where is Abel, thy brother? And he said, I know not. Am I my brother's keeper? And he said, what hast thou done? The voice of thy brother's blood cry unto me from the ground. And now thou art cursed from the earth, which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. This man said this innocent blood is crying out to me. And then he just told this man, you going to be cursed from the earth. What you think they're talking about, being cursed from the earth? What you think, what? Well, let's see what the curse is. Romans chapter 6, verse 23. Let's see what the curse is. He said you're going to be cursed from the earth. Romans chapter 6, verse 23. Y'all know what it say. Y'all probably done read it on every Bible tract anybody ever walked up and handed to you. They probably had it in every one. He said, for the wages of sin is death, but the gift of God is eternal life through Yeshua the Messiah. Because this man just committed sin. He said, you're going to be cursed from the earth. Because you're guilty of innocent blood. He didn't have anywhere to flee. to get their blood. But matter of fact, the Lord gave him somewhere to flee because he didn't get the act. He didn't have that testimony of I killed my brother ignorantly or I didn't hate him as time passed. Because he hated his brother. He hated his brother. Let's see what the Lord told him to do. Genesis chapter 4 again. Let's see where he told him to go. Let's see if he told him to go somewhere where he could hide. Genesis chapter 4 by verse 13. Cain said unto Yah, my punishment is greater than I can bear. Behold, thou hast driven me out this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid. And I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And it shall come to pass that everyone that find me shall slay me. And Yah said unto him that whosoever slay Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And Yah set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. Now you see what that does, because you know we just read about this here. If innocent blood be shed, somebody ought to die for it, right? Now he set a mark upon it, man. We know what? I'm going to spare you. That no one should slay you. Then we read about somebody getting a mark on them that nobody should slay them. When you read about somebody getting a mark on them that nobody should slay them. That's not saying that Cain gonna be spared. Don't think that's what I'm saying. But who got a mark on them saying they won't be spared? You know what? Some of y'all should know because we just read it last week. I know y'all did. We just read it last week. I know some of you brothers, you should know. Then we read in Ezekiel 9 and also dealing with the 144,000 that they got a seal that they shouldn't hurt the earth as long as they in it. Then we just read last week about set a seal on my servants who sigh and cry because of the abomination and the blood that shed in the midst of Jerusalem. Then we just read that last week. I mean, all wasn't here. I'm talking about, but they was here. They don't remember. That ain't good. You all right over there? Your head hurt? Come on back over here and look. So we sit back and say he's going to be cursed from the earth. Let's look at Revelation chapter 20, verse 12. Because we know Yeshua told them men that those on his left hand, he'll tell them to depart in the everlasting fire prepared for the devil and his angels. You know you curse, you don't obey this covenant. You know you curse if you bless yourself in your heart and you still go add in the sin to sin, following your own imagination. Hold on, y'all. You know you cursed. Yeah, that's thing you got to do it. All right. You know you cursed. All right. You know you cursed. Revelation 20 and 12. All right. And it says, and I saw the dead, small and great, stand before God. The books were open, and another book was open, which is the book of life. And the dead were judged out of those things which were written in the books according to their works. And the sea gave up the dead which were in it. And death and hell delivered up the dead which were in them. And they were judged every man according to their works. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life were cast into the lake of fire. So guess what that means? What you got to do to get your name blotted out the book? What y'all got to do to get your name blotted out the book? And they said this thing show a commercial every 10 minutes. That sucks. What y'all got to do to get your name blotted out the book? You know. You better know. Don't that man say if you commit sin, I get your name blotted out that book? Don't you know that whosoever shed man blood, by man blood it shall be shed? Don't you know that you're going to be guilty of that same curse? Because he spilled innocent blood. And this man just say, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. Because all these people are supposed to perish. Because didn't all these people say, let his blood be on our children's children? That means they didn't do that ignorantly. They hated the man. Acts chapter 2. Now, 1 Thessalonians 5 also comes to mind. I think we'll take a journey there as well. Acts chapter 2, verse 22. You sit back and look at it. This man that gave you a place to where you can be covered, where you can be hidden from the wrath to come. Because the avenger of blood will take you out. The avenger of blood will take you out. Ye men of Israel, hear these words. YESHUA of Nazareth, a man approved of God among you by miracles and wonders and signs, which God did by him in the midst of you, as you yourselves also know. Him being delivered by the determinate counsel and foreknowledge of God, you have taken, and by wicked hands have crucified and slain. So you want to sit back and look at it, you think all them people screaming, crucify him, crucify him, knew what they were doing. A lot of them knew they were killing this man. A lot of them knew he didn't do anything. There were a lot of people there that didn't want nothing to happen to this man. They were just there to see what was going to happen. But nevertheless, because he died, that blood, that innocent blood still been shed. Avenger of blood got to come through and take you out. Okay, he said every 10 minutes a Target or Fruit Loop commercial come in. That's how they eat. These streams say we gotta eat, baby. This nigga won't go premium and pay us. So we gotta get us either way. What I look like paying you? And you got a free option. I don't even think the other stuff even that good, is it what? The stuff that you can do if you can pay for it. I don't know. I know they got a pay-per-view option. Why anybody would want to pay to watch something on Ustream, I have no idea. Yeah, I know, because these dudes have debates. These dudes have debates, and then they set up the pay-per-view that if you want to watch the debate, you got to pay for it. We just go.
Like you go hook up a whole bunch of cameras to it, and like you go switch the cameras, and then that's what the cameras they'll see, or whatever.
No, real broadcast.
Yeah, it could be like an actual show like that.
Yeah. I don't know if I still would pay a nigga though. But nevertheless. Hey man, I'll see it later. He said, whom God have raised up, loosing the pains of death, because it was not possible that he should be holding of it. Now drop down to verse 37. Make it about 34. Actually about 32. This YESHUA hath God raised up, whereof we are all witnesses. Therefore, being by the right hand of God exalted, having received of the Father the promise of the Ruach HaKodesh, he has shed forth this which ye now see and hear. For David is not ascended into the heavens, but he saith himself, Yah said unto my Lord, sit thou on my right hand, until I make thy foes thy footstool. Therefore let all the house of Israel know assuredly, that God has made the same YESHUA whom you have crucified, both Lord and Messiah. Now when they heard this, they were pricked in the heart, and said unto Peter and to the rest of the apostles, men and brethren, what shall we do? Then Peter said unto them, repent and be baptized every one of you in the name of YESHUA the Messiah for the remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Ruach HaKodesh. For this promise is unto you and to your children and to all that are far off, even as many as Yah God should call. And with many other words did he testify, exhort, saying, save yourselves from this untoward generation. So these men who believed, they were seeking some refuge or a covering, because that's what a refuge is. It's a safety place. We seeking to be safe from the wrath of God, because we sitting back looking at it. We read it last week. Come on here to 2 Timothy. 2 Timothy chapter 1. Look what Paul said again. We'll read it again. What is it, 1 Timothy chapter 1? It's 1 Timothy chapter 1. 1 Timothy chapter 1 by verse 11. He said, according to the glorious gospel of the blessed God, which was committed to my trust. And I thank Messiah YESHUA our Lord, who have enabled me, for that he counted me faithful, putting me into the ministry. Wherefore, who was before a blasphemer and a persecutor and injurious, I obtained mercy because I did it ignorantly and unbelief. That's why he say, Father, forgive them. They know not what they do. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know what they're doing. But remember, we were just telling you about somebody who say, I know what I'm doing. He said, so since you say you see, your sin remain. That's why the avenger of blood will hunt you down. I want y'all to look at something. Book of Obadiah. We'll get back to Deuteronomy 19. Book of Obadiah. We were just dealing with this here with a brother. Because, you know, if any of y'all ever dealt with Hebrew Israelites, they go hard about that Esau, the white man thing. They be like this here. We were talking to a brother about it, and he said he was disappointed because he just felt like the white man ought to die. Obadiah, verse 1. The vision of Obadiah, thus saith Yah concerning Edom, we have heard a rumor from Yah, an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye, and let us rise up against her in battle. Let's see who the ambassador is. Let's see who the ambassador is. Romans chapter, not Romans chapter 8, but Mark chapter 1. About verse 14. I'm going backwards. Not going the right way. Anybody know what an ambassador is? Who know what an ambassador is? Don't nobody know what an ambassador is? All these educated black folks on here, nobody know what an ambassador is. What, you know what an ambassador is? A translator? No.
But I know what it is. I can explain. And a representative.
An ambassador is a representative. It's a representative. And you sit back and you look at Hillary Clinton was known as she was an ambassador. She was Secretary of State. She was Secretary of State. You know what I'm talking about? That's somebody who sits to speak on someone else's behalf. Mark chapter 1, verse 14. Now after that, John was put in prison. YESHUA came to the lead preaching the gospel of the kingdom of God and saying, the time is fulfilled, the kingdom of God is at hand, repent ye and believe the gospel. Because remember, he said, my Father has sent me. He said, what my Father tells me to speak, that's what I speak. That's what he said in John chapter 12, verse 50, right? Ain't that what he said? Huh? Who? I have no idea. I mean, we close to Bishop Kennedy, so, not Bishop Kennedy, probably a football game or something. Who knows? Nigga might be shooting. Yeah, I hear it. Nigga might just got some big guns.
Shoot for what?
I don't know, because they just feel like it. I'm just talking, man. I don't know what's going on. But, you know that John 12 and 50, right? He said, what my Father tells me to speak, that's what I speak. Because I come to him. He said, I come in my Father's name and you receive me not. He was his ambassador. He said, let's rise up against her in battle. Let's see how they rose up against them in battle. John chapter 11. Verse 46. They rose up against them in battle. And we can look at Proverbs 13 and 17 while we at it. Because it says an ambassador. But some of them went their way to the Pharisees and told them which things YESHUA had done. Then gathered the chief priests and Pharisees a council and said, what do we? For this man do many miracles. And if we let him thus alone, all men will believe on him, and the Romans shall come and take away both our place and nation. And one of them named Capheus, being the high priest that same year, said unto them, you know nothing at all, nor consider that it is expedient for us that one man should die for the people, that the whole nation perish not. And this spake he not of himself, but being high priest that year, he prophesied that YESHUA should die for that nation. And not for that nation only, but that also he should gather together and warn the children of God that were scattered abroad. Then from that day forth, they took counsel together to put him to death. So now they sitting back saying, we see the ambassador. He said, let's rise up against him. Let's go to battle. We want to kill him. Yeah, them fireworks. Or Thunder 1. Come on back to Obadiah. They going hard. I'm ducking. I don't even want to go outside. They going at it like that. I'm just going to stay here. Obadiah chapter 1 verse, well ain't but chapter 1 chapter. Obadiah verse 2. Yeah, I deal with this here, man. Especially for you brothers that just coming, because I know y'all heard a lot about Esau. Let's see about Esau. You know, Hebrew Israelites love to run to the book of Obadiah. How many of y'all agree with that? How many of y'all agree with that? Hebrew Israelites love to run to Obadiah. Okay. Hebrew Israelites love to run to Obadiah. That's their favorite thing. This going to be death to the white man. He said, behold, I've made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. So how is he small among the heathen, right? You know what he would mean when he say small? Well, now he would be humble, wouldn't he? You know what I'm talking about? Let's see how he was a humble man. He made himself small among the heathen. Let's look over here, John chapter 19. Or 18. Well, look, no shoes over. Oh, I can't never tell them apart when they're crying. They sound the same to me. Yeah, they do. That's why I said to me. Huh? What's that? Yeah. I mean, shoot, their voices around about the same. John 18, verse 38. Pilate said unto him, what is truth? And when he had said this, he went out again to the Jews and said unto them, I find in him no fault at all. See, like this here, ain't had the Pilate said, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't want to kill him. But you have a custom that I should release unto you one at Passover. Will you therefore that I release unto you the King of the Jews? Then cried they all again, saying, not this man, but Barabbas. Now Barabbas was a robber. Let's drop on down. Let's drop on down. We'll sit there. It might be in the wrong spot where he sat there and said this to him. You see, that's why I won't really tell you this to him. We got to go to Matthew. Because you know what he said about him in Philippians chapter 2? You know what he said about him in Philippians chapter 2? Because he said he made him small among the heathen. Then we can look at 1 Corinthians chapter 2. I think that's Matthew where he asked him this question. Yes, it is. Matthew 27, verse 11. Say he made him small among the heathen, meaning he was humble. Say Yeshua stood before the governor, and the governor asked him, saying, art thou king of the Jews? Yeshua said unto him, thou say. He said, you say it. Say I got to make you small among. He could have really looked him in the face and said, yeah, I'm king, nigga. But see, let's look at something. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. Because they rose up against him in battle. Because an ambassador was sent amongst the heathen. They rose up against him in battle. 1 Corinthians chapter 2. They were ready to go to war with him. Some of y'all go to war with him every day because you're disobedient. 1 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 4. I'll make it verse 1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of God. We'll never come to you like that, though. For I determined not to know anything among you, save Yeshua the Messiah and him crucified. And I was with you in weakness and in fear and in much trembling. And in my speech and my preaching was not with enticing words of man's wisdom, but in demonstration of the Spirit of power. That's all we're going to come with it, the power of the word, come in the Ruach. Ain't got to try to entice you with no fancy word. That's what the Hebrew nigga gonna do. I guarantee you when we got to mess with these niggas Tuesday night, that's all that nigga gonna do. He gonna tell about what Josephus said. He gonna come with some fancy words. Try to entice you with man with it. I'm gonna tell you what this book say. You take it how you want. He said that your faith should not stand in the wisdom of men, but in the power of God. Howbeit we speak wisdom among them that are perfect, yet not the wisdom of this world, nor the princes of this world that come to naught. But we speak the wisdom of God in a mystery, even the hidden wisdom, which God ordained before the world unto our glory. See, we talking about the wisdom of God right now, in a mystery. Because Yeshua told you in Luke chapter 11, he said the wisdom of God testify, I send you apostles and prophets, and ye shall kill them, and scourge them in your synagogue. Which none of the princes of this world knew, for had they knew it, they would have not crucified the Lord of glory. Remember he said if you slay a man ignorantly, you could get a place of refuge. That's why he told them, Father, forgive them. They don't know what they're doing. It's still an opportunity for them to be saved. That's why you sit back and you see Peter in Acts told them, man, you know by wicked hands you took and slew this man, but God done declared this man to be the Messiah. God done declared this man to be able to overcome death to save you. That's why they say, oh boy, we didn't know this. We need to repent. What we ought to do? Y'all didn't know which way to walk in the word. You were ignorant of what God required of you, and now it's being made known unto you what to do, and then you purposely go against it. That means you hate this man. And you want to shed his blood yourself. I mean, you hated him. Because that's what we read. It said they ignorantly killed him, right? You ignorantly killed somebody, right? It means you didn't know what you were doing. So every time you go out here and you told what to do and you don't do it, then guess what that means? You hated this man. You killed him on purpose. You was just one of them people standing out there say, give us Barabbas, give us the robber. Then you would be just like them people. Let his blood be on our children's children. That's ugly. That's ugly. What I just said, man. Let's look at this Proverbs 13 and 17. Let's look at this Proverbs 13 and 17. We come back to Obadiah. Let's see what it talks about. It says, a wicked messenger fall into mischief, but a faithful ambassador is health. What you think that's talking about, right? A wicked messenger falls into mischief, but a faithful ambassador, you can get some help from him. Huh? Any of you brothers got any idea? Yep. Exactly. Let's see how that's about Judas. Let's see how faithful, let's see how an ambassador is helped. And let's see how a wicked messenger falls into mischief. Let's see this mischief he's going to fall in. 2 Chronicles chapter 21. Second Chronicles chapter 21. Everybody all right? I'm going to hold you too much longer. Y'all all right over here? Brittany and Glover, y'all all right? I'll take that as a no. Let's look at all right. Let's look at 2 Chronicles chapter 21. Let's look at about verse 4. Now when Jeroham was risen up to the kingdom of his father, he strengthened himself and slew all his brethren with the sword, and divers also of the princes of Israel. Jehoram was 32 years old when he began to reign, and reigned 8 years in Jerusalem. And he walked in the way of the kings of Israel like as did the house of Ahab, for he had a daughter of Ahab the wife, and he wrought that which was evil in the eyes of Yahweh. Howbeit, he would not destroy the house of David, because of the covenant that he made with David, as he promised to give a light to him and to his sons forever. In his days the Edomites revolted from under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king. And you know what some of y'all do? You'll revolt and make yourself a king. I'll show you. Hold what you got. Go to 1 Timothy chapter 4. That's what some of y'all do. He said you'll revolt under the dominion. You'll revolt for under the authority. That's what the person that just got put out of here did. I'm going to find me somebody else. 1 Timothy chapter 4 verse 1. I'm going to find me somebody else. I don't want to be under this authority. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I don't like how he preaches. I don't like what he says. I just don't like him. I ain't got a problem with the Lord. I just don't like him. Sure you don't. Sure you don't. I charge thee therefore before God and the Lord Yahshua the Messiah, who shall judge the quick and the dead at his appearing and his kingdom. Preach the word. Be instant in season and out of season. Reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lust shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears. And they shall turn away their ears from the truth and shall be turned unto fables. Because see, that's what's going to happen. When you got itching ears and you want to do what you want to do, you'll revolt under the dominion. And you'll go set somebody else up over you to do it. That's what we were dealing with last week when he said you set up a man of your coast to be a watchman. You'll find somebody to tell you what you want to hear. He say, don't prophecy to us right things. Prophecy unto a smooth thing. Tell us lies. See, some of y'all, like we were talking like last week, some of y'all don't mind when it's somebody else getting reprimanded. It's a whole other thing when it's you though. Then you sitting there like this here, I sure wish that nigga stop, leave me alone. Somebody else you snickering. Might even be laughing, it's funny. You know what I'm talking about? Sometimes y'all wonder why other people don't get reprimanded. You know why? You know what the magic answer is? Wait for it. Wait for it. They don't do nothing stupid. You know what I'm talking about? When you don't do nothing stupid, you ain't got to worry about nobody saying nothing to you, do it. Do something stupid, you might get something said to you. But it's better service to save you, though. But I know a lot of y'all, you ain't never really had no type of structure, discipline, or direction before in your life. Most of y'all ain't never been under nobody's authority. The only authority you ever followed was your own. Then you sitting back and you realizing you've been in all these false churches and false camps. You sit back and realize you got to listen to somebody. We just started off dealing with if you don't want to listen to what the priest say, you ought to be killed. Because the priest ain't doing nothing but tell you what the book say. That's why a lot of people not going to make it. That's just not just referring to any of y'all. We talking about just here. Some of y'all might have that problem. I don't want to listen. I don't care what that nigga say. Who is that nigga? Just sitting there, we just doing this here because the example been set. Somebody who some of y'all done seen in the flesh. Somebody who some of y'all done heard their voice because they done been on this screen and now they gone. And Lord knows if he permit them to bring me my cash money in my hand and I get that nigga her clothes, we'll never see nor mention this nigga ever again. But for the example, because it just happened after Sabbath last week, this individual being cut off just like he just flicked that over there off the way. Wow. Some of y'all know what you do. You walk down the street, you feel a booger on, you know, you gonna get that booger, you flick him away. Get you away from it. Some of y'all know what you feel. You walk up against a used tampon, you like this here, you're appalled, you're disgusted. Like the book says, you say, get thee from hence, like a menstrual cloth. Get you away from me. You got to make sure, the man done showed you. We were just talking about this, and the man turned right around and showed you, and he got rid of somebody. He just let you know that what you don't want to do, he'll get somebody to take your place, and as soon as he got rid of this woman, he brought somebody in to take her place. That should be a warning and an exhortation for every last one of y'all that been here. Just as easily he brought you in, you don't want to obey, you don't want to do right, he will get rid of you and bring somebody in just that quickly to take your place. Because one monkey don't stop no show. Word of God going to be preached. All these are going to bring you, going to let you sit here, he going to let you hear the word, you're going to damn yourself, you're going to be innocent of this blood, and the avenger of blood is going to catch you and take you out. Because YESHUA is the city of refuge and the avenger of blood at the same time. Y'all already know he's the avenger of blood. You've been taught that before, just not directly from Deuteronomy 19. But you didn't know he was the city of refuge. You didn't know that you had somewhere to dwell because you were ignorantly, every time you committed sin, you were guilty of this man's blood. Now you say, but you did it out of ignorance. Now I can give you somewhere to dwell where the avenger can't get you. We'll deal with it more in depth in a minute. But I didn't want y'all to sit back because he said wicked messenger fall in the mischief. Hold on. Look what he say now. Verse 10. So the Edomites revolted from under the hand of Judah unto this day. The same time also did Libnah revolt from under his hand, because he had forsaken Yah, God of his fathers. You know why this is important, why we talking about that? The Edomites revolted under the dominion of Judah and made themselves a king. Hold what you got. John chapter 13. John chapter 13, verse 1. Tied into John chapter 19. Thank the Lord. What is word is magnificent. Greatest thing I ever been involved with in my life. I can sit back and think all the years, I'm like, boy, I don't know what this book talking about. Why even read it? Why even read it? And the Lord saw fit to give me some understanding. I thank the Lord for it. Now before the feast of Passover, when YESHUA knew that his hour was come, that he should be departed out of the world unto the Father, having loved his own which were in the world, he loved them unto the end. And supper being ended, the devil having now put into the heart of Judas Iscariot, Simon's son, to betray him. YESHUA, knowing that his Father had given all things into his hand, that he was come from God, and went to God. He rise up from supper and laid aside his garments and took a towel and girded himself. Now come on over here to about verse 10. YESHUA say to him, he that is washed need not save to wash his feet, but is clean every whit. And ye are clean, but not all. For he knew who should betray him. Therefore he said ye are not all clean. Let's look on down here to about verse 24. Make it 22, 21 actually. When YESHUA had thus said, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, truly, truly, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. Then the disciples looked one on another, doubting of whom he spake. Now there was leaning on YESHUA's bosom one of his disciples whom YESHUA loved. Simon Peter therefore beckoned to him that he should ask who it should be of whom he spake. He then lying on YESHUA's breast say unto him, Lord, who is it? YESHUA answered, it is to whom I shall give a sop when I have dipped it. And when he dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. And after the sop, Satan entered into him. Then said YESHUA unto him, that thou do quickly. So now we can sit back and see he's revolting under the dominion of Judah. But he didn't want to do what YESHUA had to say. Because what we were just looking back about the scribes and the Pharisees, they said if everybody believe on this man, we'll lose our place with the Romans, right? Ain't that what he said, Pep? They'll lose their place with the Romans. So that means they wanted to revolt under the dominion of Judah and make themselves their own king. John chapter 19. John chapter 19, about verse 10. Make it 11. I'm sorry, verse 12. And thenceforth Pilate sought to release him, but the Jews cried out, saying, if thou let this man go, thou art not Caesar's friend. Whosoever make himself a king, speak against Caesar. When Pilate therefore heard that saying, he brought YESHUA forth and sat down in the judgment seat in a place that is called the pavement, but in the Hebrew Gabbatha. And it was the preparation of the Passover, and about the 6th hour he said unto the Jews, behold your king. But they cried out, away with him, crucify him. Pilate said unto him, shall I crucify your king? The chief priests said, we have no king but Caesar. Sound like to me they want to rebel against the dominion of Judah and make themselves a king, now don't. What you say, Dwayne? Come on back to 2 Chronicles 21. So right there, the Edomites revolted from under the hand of YESHUA, or under the hand of Judah. And at the same time, Lebanon revolted from under his hand, because he forsaken Yah God of his father. So at the same time, Judah revolted, Lebanon revolted, he forsook Yah. That's interesting. Moreover, he made the high places in the mountains of Judah, verse 11, 2 Chronicles 21. And caused inhabitants of Jerusalem to commit fornication and compelled Judah thereto. He called these people to commit fornication too. And there came a writing to him from Elijah the prophet, saying, thus saith Yah, God of David thy father, because thou hast not walked in the ways of Jehoshaphat thy father, nor in the ways of Asa king of Judah, but walked into the ways of the king of Israel, and hast made Judah and inhabitants of Jerusalem to go a whoring like the whoredoms of the house of Ahab, and hast also slain thy brethren of thy father's house, which were better than thyself. Oh man. Somebody come through and slain somebody who was better than themselves. Didn't these men come back and slay? Didn't we just read in Acts, he said, by wicked hands y'all killed this man? Slain somebody who was better than you. Listen what he said. Because this also talking about Judas. Because he slain his brother who was of his father's house, who was better than him. Look at John chapter 1 verse 12. Just so we can make sure that they are of their father's house. Just so we can make sure. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. John chapter 1 verse 11. And these niggas thinking I'm sitting around thinking, studying for them. And we around here trying to get some understanding. Did you bring enough for everybody? If you're not nice. Yes, you're not nice. You know right now that you look up right now that you look just like your auntie. Did you know that? Yep, you did. John chapter 1 verse 11. He came unto his own, and his own received him not. Because wouldn't Judas be of the tribe of Judah? Because the name Judas ain't nothing but Judah. Is that right, Pell? Correct me if I'm wrong, Pell. Ain't Judas ain't never translated to Judah? So that would mean he would be of his father's house, and he slew his brother who were better than him. First Chronicles chapter, Second Chronicles chapter 2. 22, pardon me. We're in verse 14. Let's see what happened. He said, behold, with a great plague will Yah smite thy people and thy children and thy wives and all thy goods. And thou shalt have a great sickness by disease of thy bowels, until thy bowels fall out by reason of the sickness day by day. Moreover, Yah stirred up against Jeroboam the spirit of the Philistines and of the Arabians that were near the Ethiopians. And they came up into Judah and brake into it, and carried away all the substance that was found in the king's house, and his son also, and his wives. So there was never a son left of him, save Joaz, the youngest of his sons. We're going to sit back and see how that tie into them breaking into Judah and taking away all the substance that was in the king's house. And after all this, Yah smote him in his bowels with an incurable disease. And it came to pass that in the process of time, after the end of 2 years, his bowels fell out by reason of his sickness. So he died of sore diseases. And his people made no burning for him like the burning of his fathers. 30 and 2 years old was he when he began to reign. And he reigned in Jerusalem 8 years and departed without being desired. Howbeit they buried him in the city of David, but not in the sepulchre of the king. What y'all think that talking about somebody's bowels falling out? What you say, what? No, not on that one now. That ain't what we're looking for. But indeed, though, I can give you that one now. His bowels fall out right through this here. But remember, this man got smoked for something he did. For his disobedience. But I give you that. Somebody else's bowels fell out. Y'all know who else's bowels fell out? Let's look at Acts chapter 1. Because remember, he said he departed. When he departed, nobody even desired him. Nobody even wanted him. You know, that's a bad feeling, boy. You die, nobody wants him. Nobody don't even care. Ain't nobody coming to you from him. Acts chapter 1, verse 15. Because a lot of people see this story, see the Bible tampered with because of this one here. Because they don't know why I read this here. See, when you know why I read this here, can't nobody sit back and tell you, see, it's tampered with. Because why they said it in this place, but it said this over here. I'm going to tell you why I said this over here. Because this man revolted from the hand of Judah and slay somebody who was better than him. So he made his bowels fall out. In those days, Peter stood up in the midst of the disciples and said, the number of names together were about 120. Men and brethren, this scripture must needs have been fulfilled, which the Ruach HaKodesh by the mouth of David spake before concerning Judas, which was a guide to them that took YESHUA. For he was numbered with us and attained part of their ministry. Now this man purchased a field with the reward of iniquity. Falling headlong, he burst asunder in the midst, and all his bowels gushed out. And it was known unto all the dwellers at Jerusalem, insomuch as that field is called in their proper tongue, Al-Qadama, that is to say, the field of blood. Because blood was on his hand. Now we can see why Acts sit here and tell him why his bowels fell out. Because we just read about this king that he slew some men who were better than him, right? So he said, because you slew these men and you taught rebellion, he said, you know what I'm going to cause to happen? I'm going to cause a sore disease to fall on you and your bowels fall out. Because we read another place, he said he hung himself, didn't he? But then we come back over here and say his bowels fell out. Now we can see why his bowels fell out. We have to have a reason to be able to know why his bowels fell out, right? You have some people who don't believe this book that'll go hard see this story false because it says his bowels fell out. Now we know why his bowels fell out. Because he say, what did I say in Proverbs 13, 17? I don't want to misquote him. We know he said he fall into mischief. He said a wicked messenger fall into mischief. He fall into mischief. That's what happened. That's how it happened to him. And he said, and a faithful ambassador is health. But then we know YESHUA came to cure us from all our diseases, didn't he? All our wounds. He was a faithful representative. Romans chapter 8, verse 1. Yeah, that was wild too. I meant to say something then when I was talking with the Jim Dandy Grits there too. Man. Where you find him at? Huh? I said, where you bought him from?
I didn't find him.
I think that's it. Ain't that wild, Nicole? This nigga got some Jim Dandy grits. He got some grits. The name of the grits is Jim Dandy. I just was making that up in the thing. That was a store and some grits. Wow. Never would have saw that coming. Romans chapter 8 verse 1, I never would have saw that coming. I don't tell you no lie. I wouldn't have seen that coming. There is therefore now no condemnation of them which are in the Messiah YESHUA, who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. For the law of the Spirit of life in the Messiah YESHUA has made me free from the law of sin and death. For what the law could not do, in that it was weak through the flesh, God sending his own Son in the likeness of sinful flesh, and for sin condemned sin in the flesh, that the righteousness of the law might be fulfilled in us who walk not after the flesh, but after the Spirit. Because the Spirit is life. The Spirit is life. That man said a faithful ambassador bring health. This man was faithful. Hold what you got. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 24. This man brought some health. This man brought some help. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 24. This man brought some help to us, didn't he? Without this man, we'll surely perish. That man said, physician, he said, those that are whole need not a physician, but them that are sick. I mean, he came to heal you. And the one thing that's going to heal you is the word if you just let it. He said, who his own self bear our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sins should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes ye were healed. A faithful messenger, a faithful ambassador bring health. So come on, look at 2 John. 2 John. Actually, it's 3 John. Verse 1. Third epistle of John, verse 1. He said, the elder unto the well-beloved Gaius, whom I love in truth, beloved, I wish above all things that thou might prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. See, that's what I desire for y'all to prosper. Your health prosper. You prosper naturally, but most important, you prosper spiritually. Look what he said. For I rejoiced greatly when the brethren came and testified of the truth that is in thee, even as thou walk in the truth. I have no greater joy than to hear that my children walk in the truth. I would have no greater joy than to know that y'all doing what you're supposed to be doing. That brings us joy. That's why we got joy at mouth this evening. And even though we like this here, and all of us should be upset and mourn in what she got going on. If she see fit to let some more than all y'all know what's going on, that's her decision. You know what I'm talking about? But right now, with somebody one of us going through something, all of us supposed to be feeling that same pain and anger she feeling, ain't it? To be upset and be down same way she feeling. But we also should joy in the fact that she was able to stand strong in the pain and control herself. Because that's a tight situation. That's a tight situation to be in. That's a rough situation to be in. But nevertheless, come on back over here to book over that. Sometimes y'all, but don't turn around and y'all been done when it did something stupid and think we supposed to be sorrowing with you when you brought that stuff and that stuff of your own doing. I ain't gonna feel sorry for you do something stupid. Now when he said he's small among the heathen, he greatly despised the white, why would he say he greatly despised? They didn't like him, did they? Because he said this is a man despised and rejected of men. See, this should take you back to why this man tell you, rejoice when you shall be persecuted falsely for my name's sake. See, some of y'all don't rejoice because y'all not willing to be rejected of men. Because he told you men will separate you from their company. That means you've been rejected. Men don't bear false witness on you. They going to hate you because they hate God. They don't know him who sent the man. So how they going to know you? He told you, righteous Father, the world have not known thee. If they would have known the Father, they would have known his Son. And if they would have known the Son, then they would know those who are born of him. And y'all be wondering, y'all get upset because people talk trash or don't like you and say stuff to you. And everybody like, what's the point? Why get caught up in all engendered and all of that? Verse 3. He said, the pride of thy heart hath deceived thee. Thou dwell in the clefts of the rock, whose habitation is high, that saith in his heart, who shall bring me down? What they talking about? What? Dwelling in the clefts of the rock, his habitation high. We done dealt with this before. Not from out this childhood. Let's look at Isaiah 57:15. After that, Isaiah 66. Lord willing, we get back to Deuteronomy 19 and we have to dig off into it another week. Let's look what he said in Isaiah 57:15. For thus saith Yah, for thus saith the high and lofty one that inhabit eternity, whose name is Kodesh. I dwell in the high and Kodesh place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit, to revive the spirit of the humble and to revive the heart of the contrite ones. Because he told you, man, he said a faithful ambassador to give you help. He said he came to revive you, which means he came to give you life, because he just read the spirit is life under those that walk in it. Oh, he just read in Romans chapter 8. But then he said, that whose name is Kodesh. Didn't Yeshua tell you his name was Kodesh in Revelation chapter 3 verse 7? He said he dwell in the high and Kodesh place with this man. So I ain't here by myself. I got somebody with me. Isaiah 66:1. But you see the key thing in what he's dealing with, because he said he made him small among the heathen. He said, and then he come back and say, this contrite, humble man dwell with me. They go back to sitting back. Some of y'all need to humble yourself. Some of y'all need to humble yourself to obey your husband. Some of y'all need to humble yourself to obey the word. Some of y'all need to humble yourself to obey the man who's teaching you the word. Because if you don't, the man say he resists the proud and give grace unto the humble. Ain't no way in the world he going to give a gift to a prideful person. He ain't going to give it to you. You ain't going to know what to do with it. Isaiah 66:1. Thus saith Yah, the heaven is my throne and the earth is my footstool. Where is the house that ye build unto me? Where is the place of my rest? For all those things have my hand made, and all those things have been, saith Yah. But to this man will I look, even to him that is of a poor and contrite spirit, and tremble at my word. Because we already know, Father look at the son. Anybody that know dealing with getting the blessing from Esau and Jacob, he only see the firstborn son. That's why you got to put ye on Yahshua the Messiah and make no provisions for the flesh to fulfill the lust thereof. Some of y'all haven't done that. That's why you still fulfill your lust. You ain't put the son on. You ain't put the son on. Gotta ask yourself, why you ain't put him on? What the problem? Be honest with yourself. What the problem? That's what some of y'all bigger problem is. You can't even be honest with yourself. You know how deluded and horrible a mind you got to have that you can't even be honest with yourself. Nigga walk around living a lie. Living a lie. If people do it every day. It's one thing you know you living a lie, but you know you living a lie. It's another thing when you lying to yourself about living a lie. You know you got to be one dangerous man to lie to yourself that you living a lie. What you say, boy? Kick him in his mouth. Kick him in his mouth. Huh? I'll kick that man. Might need a technical shot later, but I'll kick it. Let's see something. Hebrew chapter 8. Them niggas swear that when they talking about, because you know them niggas be quick to say the white man dwelt in caves. That's how he dwelt in the clefts of the rock. Because he lived in caves. How many of y'all ever heard that before? The white man lived in caves. That's how we know he dwelt in the clefts of the rock, because he lived in caves. Now, of the things which we have spoken, this is the sum. We have such a high priest who is set on the right hand of the throne of the majesties in the heavens. Because he said this is what we're going to look to. Because he said it made him small among the heathen. He said this man made himself of no reputation and humbled himself even unto the death of the cross. Some of y'all can't even humble yourself to take up your cross and bear it and die every day. To deny yourself the things of the flesh. To deny yourself your things of the world. To deny yourself of your own self because you don't hate your life in this world. You love it. You love being a nigga. You love being a sinner. You love being disobedient. You just feel like because you sit down on the Sabbath day, you good. But you're not good. And it don't bother you. And the only reason why it don't bother you, because this man done messed around and gave you a strong delusion that you should believe a lie. I've been telling y'all for the longest, this man ain't nobody to play with. Like the Obadiah, this man ain't nobody to play with. It's your life we talk about. This ain't no joke, this ain't no game. Just as easily he let you in, he can put you out. Just as easily he allows you to get breath in your lungs, he can take it back. He said, who shall bring me down to the ground? Verse 4, though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, and thou though thou set thy nest among the stars, thence will I bring thee down, saith Yah. Now what y'all think he talking about setting his nest amongst the stars? Gentlemen, you got anything for us, Jim Dandy? What did he say when he set his nest amongst the stars? Huh? You know. You know. You supposed to know. Let's see how he set his nest amongst the stars. Hebrew chapter 1. Then we'll show you how he brought him down. Hebrew chapter 1 by verse 4. A little famished. Hebrew chapter 1 verse 4. Being made so much better than the angels, as he hath by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. For unto which of the angels said he at any time, Thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again when he bringeth the first begotten into the world, he saith, Let all the angels of God worship him. And to the angels he saith, Who make his angels spirits and ministers a flame of fire. But unto the Son he saith, Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. As it says in Psalm 97, all you that love Yah, love the good and hate evil. Hating evil more than just, oh, I see what these sinners be doing, I don't like it. How about you hate some of that evil stuff you got going on in your heart? How about you hate some of them evil ways you got? How about you hate your bad attitudes you have? How about you hate the way you talk to people or treat the people? How about you hate how you deal with your husband or your wife? How about you hate the way you deal with other people? How about you hate your selfishness and your pride? How about you hate stuff like that? He said, Thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore God, even thy God, have anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. Let's look at Hebrew chapter 2 and about verse 9. But we see YESHUA made a little lower than the angels for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor for every man. Crowned with glory and honor that he, by the grace of God, should taste death for every man. Now, if he set his nest amongst the stars, what would that nest be now, boy? What you think that nest would be? That would be his throne. That would be in Jerusalem. I mean, he's above the angels. But he said, I'll bring you down. Because we know he came down from heaven. John chapter 3. Make it John chapter 6. Verse 38. Because he said, I will bring thee down. He said, I'll bring you down. The Lord got to bring some of y'all down, to bring your pride down that you might be saved. Some of y'all don't want the man to bring your pride down, though. John chapter 6, verse 38, he said, For I came down from heaven not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. Because there was an ambassador, a faithful representative. Because remember now, when he came and they said, gather up to rise up to him to battle, because an ambassador was sent from amongst the heathen, you know what that also was dealing with? Let's look at Matthew chapter 1. That just came to my mind. Let's tie the whole thing up. We might not even finish all this now. Matthew chapter 2, actually. Verse 1. Now when Yeshua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came a wise man from the east of Jerusalem, saying, Where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him. And when he gathered all the chief priests and scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where the Messiah should be born. And they said unto him, Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet, Thou Bethlehem in the land of Judea, art not thou the least among the princes of Judah? For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel. Then Herod, when he had privily called the wise men, inquired of them diligently of what time the star appeared. And he sent to them to Bethlehem, and said, Go search diligently for the young child, and when you have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also. When they heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, until it came and stood over where the young child was. And when they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding joy. Verse 12. Being warned of God in a dream that they should not return unto Herod, they departed into their own country another way. And when they departed, and behold, the angel of Yah appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him, because the bastard had been rose up by the heathen to rise up to battle. Went both ways, at his birth and his death. At his birth and his death. Why do you think they're going to rise up to battle against people who believe and testify of it? Because these people hate God. And it is what it is. Can't have no fear about it. Come on back to Obadiah, because we done seen how he got his nest amongst the stars, and how you going to bring him down. Now this nigga just dropping bass out there. Nigga shaking the whole neighborhood. Right, go out there and tell them they turn that down. So you ain't gonna say nothing. Verse 5, because we just seen something earlier about thieves, did we not? If thieves came to thee, verse 5, Obadiah, if thieves came to thee, if robbers by night, how art thou cut off? Would they have not stolen till they had enough? If the grape gatherers came to thee, would they have not leave some grapes? John chapter 19, verse 25. Actually, or 23 actually. On 1923. We got a little ways to go. Then the soldiers, when they had crucified Yeshua, took his garments and made 4 parts, to every soldier a part, and also his coat. Now the coat was without seam, woven from the top throughout. They said therefore among themselves, Let us not rent it, but cast lots for it, whose it shall be, that the scripture might be fulfilled, which saith, They parted my raiment among them, and for my vesture they did cast lots. These things therefore the soldiers did. So it sounds like they took all this stuff and didn't leave nothing. But why is this coat important? Why, who had a coat? Huh? You hear me? Huh? Kick him in his face. Who had a coat? Gentlemen, who had a coat? Who know who had a coat? Huh? No, they ain't who we wanted. But he did have a coat. 1 Samuel chapter 2. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 18. He said, But Samuel ministered before Yah, being a child girded with a linen ephod. Moreover, his mother made him a little coat, and brought it to him from year to year. when she came up with her husband to offer the yearly sacrifice. Now there's 2 times a year when they offer the yearly sacrifice. What are those 2 times a year? And what's the other day? Day of Atonement. And then they find it amazing that his mother came and brought Samuel up a coat every year for the yearly sacrifice, and Yeshua was at a yearly sacrifice with a coat. Huh? Yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah. That's a yearly sacrifice. So that's for the sins and the reconciliation of all the people. You know, those are 2 years where sacrifices were made year to year. Oh, no. You were right there.
Yeah.
Don't you find it amazing he had a coat at a yearly sacrifice? Because you didn't make no sacrifice. That Passover had to be sacrificed every year at that specific time, didn't it? And he had a coat on. And they wanted to take his coat. Joseph had a coat. Let's see what Joseph coat. Let's see if somebody wanted to tear his coat off. Because they said, don't tear the coat off. That must have been one nice coat. Genesis chapter 37. Because they stripped Yeshua out of his coat. Genesis chapter 37, verse 21. And Reuben heard it and delivered him out of their hands and said, let us not kill him. Reuben said unto them, shed no blood, but cast him into this pit that is in the wilderness, and lay no hands upon him, that he might rid him out of their hands to deliver him to his father again. And it came to pass when Joseph was coming to his brethren that they stripped Joseph out of his coat of many colors that was on him. And they took him and cast him into a pit, and the pit was empty, and there was no water. So you sit back and look at it. They took him out of his coat just like they took the Lord out of his coat too, didn't they? We see Samuel with a coat on. So it makes sense we see the Lord coming back around later on. He got a coat on. Come on back to Obadiah. Because he said you would have took till you had enough. That's one thing about it. We can sit back and we can look at some Romans and some Europeans or some Caucasians in their history. Well, when they plunder, they plunder. They ain't leaving nothing behind. You look at America, when she plundered, she plundered. She sat back and said, manifest destiny. God told me to come out west and kill everything out here and take it. They ain't leave a piece of land for them people. They left some land for them. That don't even count, because they got to pay, you got to pay me to be here. And we'll let you run some casinos on it, but you got to pay me though. Because America got, I'm talking about, you sit back, America got that same framework of thinking, we could take a little bit and leave something behind. We ain't leaving nothing behind. I remember my homeboy, we was sitting with this dude, these people pulled up in a Bentley or a Rolls Royce. That nigga say, man, can you leave some crackers for the zoo animals? Some crumbs for the zoo animals. He was just looking like this here, man, how you gonna come around all these poor people in an automobile like this? And you ain't gonna leave nothing. You look at what the people did on Wall Street and all the stuff they did. Them people ain't leave nothing behind. Say we'll bankrupt the whole economy, but we ain't gonna leave you niggas nothing. You can live on the street. Y'all won't have no job. We'll make the dollar worthless, but we gonna take everything we can get. You know what the word part is? Some of y'all done took on that same mentality. That you may not go to the extreme or be at the level that they on, but you'll try to get whatever you can get out of somebody. Same way that America, how these Europeans don't like to pay people fair value for their service or their labors or their work. Some of y'all get that same mentality in your head because you want to try to save a buck or two. Add people to do stuff, you don't want to pay them. You know what I'm talking about? I'm looking for it. Because you know, niggas love to look for a deal. That's why we end up getting a lot of shoddy service and stuff we do, because we love a deal, don't we? That's why a lot of nigga cars don't be running right, because they be quick to go holler at the shade tree mechanic. Then you end up spending more money than what you could have spent if you just would have did it right the first time. I seen a brother complain about how black people always want you to support their business, but they had the more worst customer service you could ever see. Because we just feel like we just supposed to do this because I'm black. Black people don't feel like I should do things at a rate where, you know, this is business. You know, we feel like Nino Brown. You remember what Nino Brown said? Never personal. Always business. You know, we could kick it, you know what I'm talking about? That's all well and good. But when it comes to business, I'm dead serious. I don't even play about that. This ain't no joking matter. This business. We go to talk about figures and money. Ain't nothing to play with then. That business. Got to be serious about business. We can joke and play any time of the day. But time to do business, you got to be serious about it. You know what I'm talking about? You got to look at the word the same way. This your life, this your business. You got to be serious about it. Because we can be serious about everything else, but you ain't serious about the things that matter. What type of sense that makes? Well, let's finish this Obadiah. We get on out of here. We'll come back another time. Finish it up later. Listen to what he says. In verse 6, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hid things sought up? What you think that's talking about? Well, let's look and see. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. He said the hidden things. He said the things of Esau searched out, and his hidden things are sought up. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Matthew chapter 13. 1 Peter chapter 1. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 9. Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 9. Y'all just bear with me. It won't take much of your time. Moreover, because the preacher was wise, he still taught the people knowledge. Yea, he gave good heed and sought out and set in order many proverbs. The preacher sought to find out acceptable words, and that which was written was upright, even words of truth. So this preacher seek to set out acceptable things. He said the hidden things of Esau are searched out, and his hid things are sought up. Matthew chapter 13. See, I wonder why people can't catch stuff. Sometimes people don't even realize the grace of God when it's in their faith. Because people don't know this man. People don't know the understanding of this man. They don't know the hidden things of the Messiah. Hebrews 13, verse 10. Matthew chapter 13, verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speak thou unto them in parables? He answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. But to them it is not given. But whosoever hath, to him shall be given, and he shall have more in abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. A lot of people don't understand. You wonder why. 1 Peter chapter 1. About verse 7. Maybe it's about verse 11. Thank the Lord. That's just what it is. But we'll start at about verse 9. We'll start at about verse 8 though. We're going to ride a little bit. We'll ride a little bit. Ain't gonna start till about 9, a little after 9. We're going to ride a little bit. Whom having not seen ye love, in whom though now you see him not, yet believing you rejoice with joy unspeakable and full of glory, receiving the end of your faith, even the salvation of your souls, of which salvation the prophets have inquired, searched diligently, who prophesies of the grace that should come unto you, searching what manner of time the Spirit of the Messiah which was in them did signify, when it testified beforehand the sufferings of the Messiah and the glory that should follow, unto whom it was revealed that not unto themselves but unto us they did minister the things which are now reported unto you by them that have preached the gospel unto you with the Ruach HaKodesh sent down from heaven, which things the angels desire to look into. Wherefore gird up the loins of your mind and be sober and hope to the end for the grace that is to be brought unto you at the revelation of Yahshua the Messiah. So this sitting back saying, how are the hidden things of Esau searched out? Because he said these men were sought out to want to know these things, but these things were revealed unto us. They didn't get to know them. They said they ministered unto us these things, which is now taught to you. See, even the angels desire to know these things. And Yahshua, when he sat down at his disciples, didn't he show them the hidden things? When he showed them, old fools and slow of heart to believe all that the prophet has said, ought not the Messiah suffer to enter into his glory? And beginning at Moses and all the prophets, he expounded unto the things that concerned himself. Because come on back to Ephesians chapter 1. Because this stuff was hidden. It wasn't made manifest. It wasn't known. Verse 9. He said, and having made known unto us the mystery of his will according to his good pleasure, which he purposed in himself. He said these things were hid in time past, but now have been made manifest by the scriptures of the prophets and by the preaching of Yahshua the Messiah. Because many people want to know. It's been still searching right now to know these things that don't know them. Let's go back to the book of Obadiah. But that's about the white man, though. I'm talking about that nigga was upset when a nigga told him that wasn't talking about no white man. Nigga said he was disappointed. We'll end it here at about verse 7. And we'll pick it up later. Because we got a lot more than we're going to be able to cover at this time period. We'll pick it up later. Verse 7 though. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There is no understanding in him. All right, what? What you think he talking about? All the men of his confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with you, they lied and they prevailed. And somebody ate bread which they laid a wound up under. Y'all know what a confederacy is, don't you? What is a confederacy? Yeah, a conspiracy. We already read about a conspiracy, didn't we, when they sat down and consulted with each other to kill a man, right? We'll read another place. Matthew chapter 26, verse 3. It's like he's trying to take your blanket. Who's going to win this battle? Lamont won the battle. Matthew 26 and verse 1. Matthew 26 verse 1. Just bear with me, y'all. It's we're going to be done in a second. We're going to finish it up. It came to pass when Yahshua had finished all these things, he said unto his disciples, ye know that after 2 days is the feast of the Passover. The Son of Man is betrayed to be crucified. Then assembled together the chief priests and the scribes and the elders of the people unto the palace of the high priest, who was called Caiaphas, and they consulted that they may take Yahshua by subtlety and kill him. So now we see a confederacy have brought thee even to the border. Men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee. So let's see how these men who were at peace with him deceived him. Even though he already knew all things that would come. We already read it. Verse 47 of the 26th chapter of Matthew. And while he yet spake, lo, Judas, one of the 12, came with him a great multitude with swords and staves, for the chief priests and elders of the people. Now he that betrayed him gave him a sign, saying, whomsoever I shall kiss, the same as he, hold him fast. Forthwith he came to Yahshua and said, Hail, Master, and kissed him. And Yahshua said unto him, Friend, wherefore art thou come? Then came they and laid hands on Yahshua and took him. And behold, one of them which were with Yahshua stretched out his hand and drew his sword, and struck a servant of the high priest, and smote off his ear. Then said Yahshua unto them, Put again thy sword into his place, for all they that take the sword shall perish with the sword. Think thou that I cannot pray to my Father, and he shall presently give me more than 12 legions of angels? But now then shall the scripture be fulfilled, that thus it must be. And in that same hour said Yahshua to the multitudes, Are you come out as against a thief with swords and staves for you to take me? I sat daily with you teaching in the temple, and you laid no hold on me. But all this was done, that the scriptures of the prophets might be fulfilled. Then all the disciples forsook him and fled. And they that laid hold on Yahshua led him away to Caiaphas the high priest, where the scribes and the elders were assembled. So it sounds like the men of the confederacy brought thee even to the border, and the men that were at peace with thee deceived thee. But look what else he said. And they prevailed against him. Weren't they able to kill him? That they eat that. Now he said, they that eat thy bread have laid a wound under thee. There's no understanding in him. What you think that's talking about? Huh? Y'all don't know what that's talking about? Well, nobody knows. Let's look at Mark then. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Mark 14. This is Mark 14, or is it Mark John 13? Let me see what he quoted specifically. Because he quotes the book of Psalms, of which it came from. Yes, it is John 13, and about verse 18. We'll make it about 14. If I then, your Lord and Master, have washed your feet, you also to wash one another's feet. For I've given you an example that you should do as I've done to you. Truly, truly, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, happy are ye if you do them. I speak not of you all. I know whom I have chosen, but the scripture must be fulfilled. He that eat bread with me lift up his heel against me. And he said, he that eat bread left a wound up under thee, because we know they left wounds in it. He said it wasn't no understanding in it. Let's look at Matthew 27. Because if he would have known what he was doing, he wouldn't have killed him. He wouldn't even led these people to him if he had him understanding. If he would have known, he shouldn't have been a partaker in innocent blood. We didn't even get that chance to go back to Deuteronomy 19. It just wasn't our day to deal with it in depth as I did. Matthew 27, verse 3. Then Judas, which had betrayed him, when he saw that he was condemned, repented himself, and brought again the 30 pieces of silver to the chief priests and elders, saying, I have sinned, and I have betrayed the innocent blood. And they said, what is that to us? See thou to that. He cast down the pieces of silver in the temple and departed, and went and hanged himself. Because if he would have had some understanding, he wouldn't have had no parts in it. But hallelujah for Yahshua. Y'all understood all of these things this evening?